Lorna Matern, and I'm the Executive Director of United Counseling Service. I'm pleased to welcome you here today as we celebrate the grand opening of the Spring Center. Today, yay! Today marks the culmination of an idea that began a decade or more ago, when we recognized the need to have a Head Start building in the center of town. And this idea really took off in 2018 when Betsy Rathbun-Gunn brought forth an idea of a public-private partnership with the town of Bennington. And Stu Hurd and the Select Board recognized this as the genius idea that it was, and we were off and running. We are so thankful for many of you who have been supporting us through the entire process. I would like to start by thanking a few of those special people who are true champions of this project. First, thank you to our United Counseling and United Children's Board members who have been nothing but supportive through this entire project. Particularly, I did want to have a shout out to Bill Baldwin, who's the president of our United Children's Board. There he is. Who I think was the person who said 10 plus years ago, we need to have a downtown Bennington facility. Thank you to the town of Bennington, particularly Stu Hurd, Dan Monks, Shannon Barsati, and the entire Bennington Select Board who trusted us in our vision. Thank you for that. We are, of course, thankful to the Office of Head Start, who allowed us the funding necessary to build this beautiful space. Of course, this beautiful space would not have happened at all if not for Breadloaf Construction. And thank you specifically to Joe and Paul, project leads. I know Paul is here somewhere. Come on, Paul. I saw you. He's hiding. But I thank them for their tremendous leadership in creating a world-class facility where children and families will live, grow, and learn. Our gratitude also goes out to Herman Construction, who at the very beginning of this project committed to donating their time and their materials to restore the ball field that's behind you. And thank you, of course, to the outstanding team of Head Start and Early Head Start, led by Betsy Rathbun-Gunn. The Head Start team continued to provide exceptional care and education to children and families, all while at the same time transitioning into this beautiful building. That takes a lot of skill. And Betsy Rathbun-Gunn is the Director of Early Childhood Services and the mastermind behind this. I feel fortunate, yes, I agree. I feel fortunate to have worked with Betsy throughout this rewarding, frustrating, exciting, tiring, and glorious project. I love being around people who live with passion, and Betsy is one of those people. I'd like to now turn it over to Betsy.
Thank you, Lorna. And it really is a joy to be here today. Who would have guessed 3 years ago that we'd be sitting here in the heat of a wonderful August day celebrating for the town of Bennington, but most importantly for the children of Bennington. So as I reflect on the last couple of years, I was thinking about how did we get here, right? And we got here because of one word, and that word was yes. It took a lot of people, a lot of energy for people to say that one word, yes. So, as I was thinking about that, I found a quote by Jason Mraz about the power of yes. The power of yes. That's what allows creativity to breathe and to come in. Saying yes allows ideas to become living, breathing dreams that move into action. Words can have power, they can change reality, and saying yes makes dreams come true. So, I'd like to say thank you to all the people that said yes. Some of them Lorna has already talked about. But Lorna had to say yes when I came to her with this idea that said, oh, we can partner with the town, we can get funding from the federal agencies, we can get funding from the state agencies. Don't worry, it will be great. So I'd like to say thank you to Lorna for having the courage. Because saying no is sometimes very simple. Saying yes takes courage. So thank you, Lorna. So again, thank you to the town of Bennington, to Stu Hurd, to Dan Monks and the select board for saying yes to this innovative partnership and collaboration. You know, we are here on the town of Bennington land. We built this wonderful building with federal tax dollars that we all contributed and now we have back in our community. And we have a wonderful partnership with the YMCA too. So again, thank you to Policy Council, the parents that said yes to all the grant applications, all the motions, all the approvals that had to take place in order to have this go forward. And thank you to the regional office out of Boston, to my calls on Friday at 5 o'clock saying, can you still please approve this? Because we have one more great idea we want to add to this project, and we really want this to be the wonderful building that it is today. I want to say thank you to Jill Doyle, Carol McClenathan, and Kathy Galusha that had to say yes. Yes to many meetings, yes to many financials, yes to many budget reports. So again, thank you to those folks that really were, you know, the wind in our sails and were able to say yes. To all my wonderful early childhood staff, they're all out there. They deserve a big round of applause. We did this during a pandemic. There were times we couldn't meet in person. We were all on those screens. We were all part of those little boxes. And we all kept saying, yes, we can continue to make this happen. And so thank you to them for saying yes. And especially to Kim Laura Batty, Rebecca Bishop, and especially to Beth Wallace, who is now the manager of the center, who can text, type, and think, and walk all at the same time. But she continues to say yes. To MSK and Jason Dolmich and their team, who had to meet me out here on a rainy day as we were looking at the land, trying to figure this out. And they were the first people who said, yes, I think we can make this happen. So again, thank you to them for saying yes. And so my last thank you is a very, very special thank you. And that's to Goldstone Associates and their incredible, incredible team that had to say yes to many change orders. I swore we were going to stop at 100. I think we went past 100, but we had to process all those change orders, all those different changes that happened because it's named Spring Center, because we have a little bit of water under the ground here in case you didn't notice. And so we had to redo, rethink, but again, they have just been so incredible. So can I have Jeff Goldstone and Jack Byer come up here for a moment? These two folks, absolutely, and Lorna. So, you know, when we were thinking about this building, you know, I was joking with Jack that I thought maybe we should build a barn or something like that. He goes, no, we're not building a barn. And I said, okay, what are we building? And he goes, well, let's think of it from the kid's perspective, right? What would you build if you were a kid? And you'd use blocks and you would use Legos and you would create a wonderful building that had lots of shapes and lots of forms. And we have lots of shapes and lots of forms and lots of corners. So we want to say thank you to the two of them who have just been so visionary, so inspirational. And so we have a little gift for your office for you. David Malinowski, somewhere is here, and we recreated the building. Not we, David recreated the building in Legos. And great detail, and really the two of you deserve all of our thanks, all of our happiness, because this will be a great building for hundreds of years to come to welcome kids, family, and the community. community. So thank you so much. And this young man was the one that did it. So he must have gone to a great preschool sometime. So,
Can I say one thing?
yes, please. And if you want to say something, please.
Just real quick. I mean, I didn't prepare anything or anything like this, but the idea of saying yes, I think, is more about not accepting no as an answer. As in, these two don't accept no.
We have such a great community, don't we? We have such great people in it. Okay, so I think Bill is next. And Bill obviously said yes.
Thank you, Betsy. I got to turn this way for a second. Not turning my back on the crowd, but admiring this beautiful building that's here. By the time you go third in line, everybody said everything, and they really have. So all I can say is thank you. Thank you to everybody that had the ideas, put forward their efforts into it, got us through this in the middle of a pandemic, and to put this package together the way it's constructed, it's unbelievable. And financially, the finance department, it's unbelievable how we did this. Again, in the middle of a pandemic. It's great. I mean, back when we had our groundbreaking, I stood up here for about 5 minutes and told everybody how important this was to the parents and the children of Bennington County, and especially downtown. We have a downtown facility now, and that'll make everybody happy. And I'm just so glad. It's perfect. So all I can say again is thank you. Thank you to everyone that was involved. It's been a team effort, and it's here. And again, I just turn around and I go, wow.
Thank you, Bill. And here on behalf of Senator Leahy is Polly Major, Field Representative. Senator Leahy serves as the President Pro Tem of the U.S. Senate and Chair of the Senate Appropriations Committee. So please come on and join me, Polly.
Thank you, Lorna. I'm a little shorter than you are. Sorry. And thank you all. What an exciting day for Bennington. Senator Leahy, sorry he couldn't be here today. He was in Bennington a week ago today, highlighting the need for childcare and the need for quality childcare. And when we look across the spectrum of federally funded childhood programs, Head Start really stands out as one that wraps its arms around the whole family. And when I look at this building, when Senator Leahy thinks about this project, what he sees is the whole community wrapping their arms around this project and the kids it'll serve and the families it'll serve. So it's so wonderful to see it finished after seeing the groundbreaking with the large heap of dirt and the singing children, to see the completed vision and to know how well this will serve the Bennington community. And as Betsy said, this is your tax dollars coming back here and doing good. So from Senator Leahy, congratulations and best of luck as the center opens up. Thank you, Lorna.
Thanks, Polly.
And Congressman Peter Welch has been a champion for working Vermonters throughout his career. Elected in Congress in 2006, Peter's record reflects his strong commitment to bringing people together, to find common sense solutions to the difficult challenges facing our state and nation. In an area of partisanship, he works across the aisle to create jobs, increase access to affordable education, and care for Vermonters. Brooke Grams is the Constituent Services Representative with Congressman Welch's office, working on child care and early education in Vermont, and we are excited to have her here today to say a few words on the Congressman's behalf.
Hi, well, thank you for inviting me to celebrate this momentous day, and Congressman Welch also sends his heartiest congratulations to all those involved in the project, and he looks forward to seeing it in the near future. I first want to acknowledge all of the people who have done so much to make this project a reality. United Counseling Service, United Children's Service, Head Start, the Town of Bennington, And thank you to the teachers, the staff, administration, the community, the select board, and all the other players involved. Congressman Welsh is very excited about this great partnership between the town of Bennington and the Bennington County Head Start and Early Head Start to add this early childhood center to the building here. When this project started, Let's Grow Kids reported 78% of infants likely to need care in Bennington County did not have access to high quality programs. Investing in early child care is important and pays back to families, communities, and businesses. The need for infant and preschool childcare in Vermont is huge, and this facility will help meet the needs of families in your community. This will improve the lives of so many, from the children to the parents to the early childhood workforce and to the greater economic scope of the community. And that is why Congressman Welsh will continue to do everything he can to support the much needed federal resources for affordable and high quality childcare and early education. Families and parents need reliable and affordable childcare and need to feel that their children are in a safe and nurturing place in order for many to return to the workforce, especially after the COVID-19 pandemic. The at-risk children and families that Head Start serves continues to be deeply impacted by the crisis, and local Head Start and Early Head Start programs have performed heroically this past year, stepping up to every challenge and stretching every dollar, continuing to provide exemplary services to America's most at-risk children and families. The opening of this program means children are getting the best care and early learning experiences, vital for children and families. And this stands as a model for other communities in Vermont, bringing real meaningful change. Congressman Welsh supports childcare annually by voting for Head Start appropriations and adding extra support during the COVID-19 pandemic. The CARES Act, passed through Congress, helped provide means to safely welcome children in person, specifically with this facility, with the touchless faucets, automated doors, and air purification systems. This investment will help our local Head Start programs continue preparing Vermont's children for success and help parents get back to work and grow our economy knowing their children are safe and cared for. Congressman Welsh is frequently asked by Vermonters about what they can do to help, and he tells them to do exactly what everyone here is doing. He tells them to get involved, to find a local community group that is doing amazing work, and dedicate themselves to bettering their community. Congressman Welsh is so impressed by the work that the various Head Start and early childhood education agencies do throughout the state. So thank you to all those here today whose hard work and dedication makes projects like this Head Start Center possible.
So it's almost time to go in and actually see the building. A few more people. Unfortunately, Stu Hurd could not be here today, but I'm very excited to introduce you to Jeannie Jenkins, a member of the Bennington Select Board, who from the very beginning was enthusiastic about this process. So if you could come on up, Jeannie, and Betsy is here because she'd like to also give you something.
Yes, you can hug me. So we have a thank you to the town of Bennington for the Spring Center grand opening 2021.
That is
Thank you.
Thank you.
On a little blackboard.
Oh, I love it. Okay, so thank you. I am really pleased to be here today. The building is beautiful and it offers valuable services to our community. If I were a realtor, I would say right now, location, right? So we're truly grateful and really excited that UCS and Head Start, and in particular you, Betsy, had the vision and the foresight to really think about how they could partner with the community, how they could move Head Start into downtown Bennington. It's really important for us. It's important that families can walk to the center. It's important that we have expanded services into Bennington in a new way. So the co-location with the Recreation Center, which is now the Community Center, Bennington Community Center, it has already benefited us as well. So we now, you may have noticed, have a beautiful new entrance to go into the Community Center. We have an elevator to the basement, guys. We have an elevator. We have a tricycle park. All right, that is fantastic. And we were just talking about the fact that you can go from this tricycle park And as you grow, you can go over to Stark Street and you can do the little kids' dirt bike park path there. So, yeah, we're preparing our children. We have new traffic and sight patterns out front. So when you drop kids off, families going in, it's much safer. We have a community room that is available to all of us now. And it also allowed us to do a much needed rethinking of how we can use our community assets. So all of that is so wonderful. So I also want to thank everyone, and that includes UCS and Head Start, for making this happen, Betsy in particular, town staff who have worked really hard to make this happen, the architects, the builders, and I realize the engineers that made this happen, YMCA, which has been an excellent collaborator in this, and the neighborhood, because the neighborhood has been up close and personal for this entire time, and they have been wonderful. This is an asset that the community has really embraced, and I love that. Certainly the funding people, federal, state, and local, that made this happen and worked with all the paperwork, and then everyone else that had any hand in making this project as wonderful it is, because it is truly wonderful. So congratulations, and thank you so much from the town of Bennington. Thank you. And this is gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
And finally, I'm pleased to introduce you to Beth Wallace, Family and Community Partnership Manager, who is overseeing the Spring Center. Beth just received the UCS Scully Award this year, which is bestowed upon a staff who embodies the highest qualities of professionalism, dedication, and sincerity in working with peers and consumers. And Beth has certainly exemplified those qualities through this project, and so much more, including being an expert collaborator and being the key liaison with the town and the Y, ensuring the Spring Center will be a joyful place for all. Come on up, Beth.
Thank you, Lorna, and thank you to all of you for coming, joining us in celebrating this monumental accomplishment. For the past 2 years, I've enjoyed design meetings with Jeff and Jack, construction meetings with the Breadloaf construction crew, pulse meetings with the community, and staff meetings with our UCH team. It sometimes felt like 24 months of one long meeting. As you can imagine, the design, construction, and startup process is rapid moving and evolving and barely leaves time to think. But I can remember the precise moment when I realized all we had accomplished together. One evening after a long day of moving early in June, I looked out the window of an infant toddler classroom, I think it was that blue one, and I saw a mother and child together on the trike track. Mom was pushing her daughter in one of those learner trikes with the handle behind it, and her toddler was beaming with pride. And it hit me as I thought, yes, this was the vision. This was the dream. Each evening after that, I watched as children and parents frequented our playground, swinging together on the swings, climbing on the slide, and it made my heart sing. Because this project was never just for the students in these classrooms. This project was for the neighborhood, for the community, for our community. Betsy talked about the power of people saying yes, but let's not forget that first there had to be a question. Betsy Rathbungen asked the question. She knew what the community needed and identified how we could make it happen. If you've ever spent any time with Betsy, you probably have heard her say, in Betsy's bold and beautiful world, whatever the idea is of the moment. And it's due to Betsy's bold leadership and tenacity that the Spring Center came to fruition. In addition to expanded childcare capacity, new playgrounds, and community spaces, this project created jobs and brought federal dollars home to Vermont. I'd like to recognize the Vermont vendors and contractors who benefited from this project and the federal funding provided to employ competent, dedicated Vermonters who made this project possible during a labor shortage and a pandemic. They are EFX Cleaning Services of Shaftesbury, Doxy Roofing of Bennington, GVH Studio of Bennington, Hayden Plumbing and Heating of Bennington, Herman Construction of Manchester, Homestead Landscaping of Bonneville, KMI Concrete Corporation of Woodstock, Pembroke Landscaping of Bennington, RK Miles of Manchester, GWA Construction of Fairhaven, AP Timberland Construction of West Rutland, Nikon Coatings Corporation from Barry, Overhead Door Company of Rutland, Pella Window and Door Showroom of South Burlington, Vermont Protective Coatings of Brandon, Lejanis Interiors of Barry, Hawk Hill Cabinetry and Custom Woodwork of Brandon, Accessibility Systems of Richmond, Southern Vermont Sprinkler Services of Brattleboro, A.L. Tyler and Sons of Brattleboro, Exteris of South Burlington, Monument Electric from Bennington, Dwyer Four Seasons Lawn and Snow Services from Bennington, and Snide Family Builders of Bennington. That's quite a list. It was such a pleasure to run into my former classmates, neighbors, and Head Start parents on the construction site each week. And this project would not have been completed without them. Next, I'd like to recognize our dedicated facilities crew who worked tirelessly in the weeks of June to make sure that we could open to children and families who needed us, and who have supported us since then as we have slowly settled in. Whether it's tracking down shelving units in New York, transporting sandboxes, or investigating error messages on the washing machine, Jeff Davis and his crew always show up with a smile. And so does Mark Sawyer, who has been an incredible partner in the town of Bennington with us all along. Finally, I'd like to thank our partners and new neighbors at the Bennington Recreation Center. Do the folks from the Y want to come up, please? Jesse, Kayla, and Taylor. Betsy has a plaque for the YMCA as well.
Thank you. They have just been incredible, and they had to live through construction, and that was a loud construction. So again, thank you to all of you that lived through it all with us. Thank you.
YMCA Rex and our staff, leadership, and members have been unwaveringly flexible and supportive through this long process. As we've begun to navigate shared spaces and shared opportunities, we continue to look forward to all of the ways this partnership will continue to grow to meet the needs of the community. At this time, we invite you to join us at the front of the building to cut the ribbon and to unveil our new sign. And afterward, please feel free to come in for tours, to grab a slushie, to enjoy the music.
And we have ice cream sandwiches if you come inside. So, you know, just so you know. Ready? Can the kids help you?
Yeah, you gotta put the kids.
When we count to, you have to help them. So let's count to 3, and on the count of 3, okay? 1, 2, 3. Now wait 1 second. One more thing to do. Sorry. Do you see this? Oh, sorry. Yes. Okay, so we need the kids for this. So the kids, come on, kids, open up the. So well. Okay, I want the kids to tear this paper down. Tear this paper down. Come on. 1, 2, 3. What's inside? What's inside? All right. It's now officially the Spring Center.